This is a fantastic device to keep people enslaved forever. And to cover this, there's a whole lot of other stories which I don't want to enter. Phenomenal tools to control populations, which has been successfully done for a long time. It depends on how we shaped ourselves. If we become wonderful human beings, it's one thing. If we have become an ugly manifestation of humanity, definitely it's an original sin. It's a mistake. Sin is too strong a word, maybe it's a mistake. So too many mistakes are being made in the world, no question. You claim to appreciate or, well, you worship the one who is referred to as the creator, but you have a huge issue with the creation. If you do not appreciate the creation, why the hell should you worship the creator? Someone who made such a bad job of this, the only way you can even be born is through sin, I think he must be banished. Now, this is a fantastic device to keep people enslaved forever. If you do not even allow them to come to terms with their biology, they'll never come to terms with anything in their life. Always they will be dependent on an institution or a person or something who claims to have connections. An Italian mafia guy was once brought to the law court and he just walked in with a fat cigar in his hand and like this he came and sat down like he's a guest. Then the judge looked at his arrogance and asked, "Do you have a lawyer?" He blew the smoke out and said, "Well, I got friends in the jury." So, people who are supposed to have connections elsewhere, you will always be enslaved to them because you feel guilty about your biology. This whole thing goes into more grosser and grosser states. So except in certain cultures, everywhere else where dominant religious beliefs were spread, in all those cultures, unfortunately, they make you feel guilty of your very existence, because that way you will always be enslaved to whatever they have set up. Something so fundamental as the menstrual cycles in a woman, she has to feel guilty about it and she's impure. Her existence is impure. Unfortunately, I want you and all the teachers of the world to understand, if your mother did not have menstrual cycles, you wouldn't be born, even if she met your father. Yes. So the life-making material, unused, is what it is. And if that is impure, your very birth is impure, that's what they're anyway trying to tell you, that your birth is impure. And to cover this, there's a whole lot of other stories which I don't want to enter. Once you are not in terms with your own physical existence, you essentially will never ever be in terms with any other dimension of your life. This itself will cover you forever. This is a fantastic trick to keep you enslaved forever. No wonder institutions have lasted. Though they've lost their relevance, they stay, simply because your existence, your very existence, you're guilty of. If you're guilty of your very existence, that means one or that which is the source of creation should be even more guilty. You are eternally guilty and that which has created all this must be even more carrying the burden of guilt. Guilt and fear have been a phenomenal tools to control populations, which has been successfully done for a long time. It's time this is broken. It is very much a possibility that one can transform his form if he wishes to. And even today, it is a phenomena that's been witnessed by many people, particularly Hanuman Bhakt, the devotees. The occult sciences have many aspects to it. One Veda is dedicated towards this.
In childhood, I used to hear about Hanuman.
About what?
Hanuman. Like he used to take giant forms whenever he wanted. He used to fly. He used to have very small, like he used to size his body to smaller size. Was it real or just any fictionary or symbolic science or something like that?
About a certain person becoming small or big or flying or doing something else, is that a possibility? Very much a possibility, very much a reality. It was very much prevalent in this country, in this culture, but it was looked down upon. But it was looked up elsewhere, particularly in the Native American cultures. There is a whole tradition of shamanism where it is… even today there's any amount of talk about how a Native American shaman becomes an eagle, becomes a fly, becomes a wolf, transforms himself into some other form and gets there and all this. So these are not just stories, it is very much a possibility that one can transform his form if he wishes to. There is a panel in the Dhyana Linga where somebody transformed himself into a form that was relevant to someone else. You noticed it? You did not? So, about people taking on the forms that they wish according to the convenience is not a new thing or it's not an unheard of thing. Almost in every part of the world it is there. Particularly it is being publicized in a big way about the North American and South American shamans these days, about shamans. Becoming eagle and becoming wolf these two forms are very common for them. That was not unheard of here, but it was looked down upon in this culture. There it is being looked up to because this is not spirituality, this is occult. Here, our occult scientists, I call them scientists because they are that kind, they don't bother to convert themselves into a bird or an animal because a risk. There is a beautiful story about… what's the name of the sage who swallows the… You know whom I'm talking about? Ashwini Kumaras, and they went to him to learn this Shuklacharya. Yeah, he took the form of a horse, is it? Ashwini Kumaras took the form of horse and he swallowed what? Shuklacharya, I think. So, There's a whole big story which is maybe a kind of a branch out from Mahabharata, or it's more from Krishna Avtara kind of thing. So there are any number of historical events like that, but that was considered crude way of doing things, because when you take on the form of something else, this body has to be preserved and it can always be misused. So, there have been incidents where somebody left his body here in some safety and let's say became an eagle and flew for some time. But when the eagle came back, the body is gone. Now what does the eagle do? A eagle comes and sits here and says, I am a yogi. Pathetic state, isn't it? Because you cannot fly, you think being an eagle is a big thing. Being an eagle is not a big thing. Though he flies high, he's only looking down all the time. It's better to sit here and look up rather than go up and look down. Really. So, yeah, the occult scientists evolved other kinds of methods. That is, they themselves do not take on other forms. They pick other forms and make the forms work in a certain way. They will take a certain animal. Usually, one thing that is heavily used is a chicken. Oh, you think that's a waste, huh? So, they will release the chicken has to be young and vibrant chicken, uncooked. So, release the chicken's life and use that life form to do certain things for you. Rather than you taking on the chicken's body, you make that chicken do things controlled by remote-controlled chicken, all right? A remote-controlled chicken is better than you becoming a chicken, isn't it? Because you becoming a chicken, there is a risk. You left your body and you went out as a chicken and tried to do something and you've become somebody's tandoori. So, they evolved better, more sophisticated methods to deal with the same things. Is that possible? Hanuman becoming small, big, very much possible. And even today, it is a phenomena that's been witnessed by many people, particularly Hanuman the devotees. Change of form is a very common thing among the devotees of Hanuman even today, because that is the trend he set. Hanuman is a Superman. Okay, a little bit of tail and facial features, the rest is Superman. He is a Superman. His strength is his devotion. The devotion in his heart is so strong. Because of that, he stood out shining, because of his sheer devotion. So, even if you happen to be a monkey, if you're a devotee, you can transcend your monkeyness and become something phenomenal. That's the story of Hanuman. It works even if you happen to be a donkey. So, yes, the occult sciences have many aspects to it. One Veda is dedicated towards this, Atharvana Veda is all about this.
In a world full of cuts, short videos, and distractions, you chose to stay and listen until the end. That already says a lot about your willingness to look deeper. Drop your city in the comments, and if you'd like, subscribe and share this video with someone who's also not afraid to think. Thank you, a big hug to you, and see you in the next video.